Well, fingers crossed this is going to be the final part of a 3-day epic job hunt that results in us finally finding a new job. The only issue is, before we get any of that, we've got to play the 5th of our 5 games to save our job at Blackpool. If we don't beat Portsmouth straight away in this episode, I'm getting sacked. Hello and welcome to Season 10, Episode 7 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we can at least guarantee one game of football today. We're at home against Portsmouth, thirst up. Thirst up? What's your tongue doing there, Kev? First up. I need to learn to speak properly. If we beat them, then there may well be the Millwall game the following week. If we lose, we're getting fired. There's all these jobs that we've applied for. Maybe we'll get some of those. Still favourite for the Cardiff job. Still haven't had an interview. And while this this has been going on for a month now with Cardiff. While this nonsense is going on, that's happening. It's becoming a less and less attractive club the longer they decide not to give me an interview. I don't see the logic in it. At the moment, they've got some fella called Kevin Nicholson doing caretaker. He doesn't even exist. He doesn't even sound like a real person. Did he even play? Does he even lift? Did he even play football? I don't understand. I need to go in there and take over. Still haven't given me an interview. If you recall, in the last episode, we were given 5 days to save our job. We've now had 4 of those games. We lost the first one against Burton. We beat Orient, but then we drew with Plymouth and with Swindon. Last gasp draw with Swindon. Dean Archer finally scoring his first goal for the club. He's out. Imagine if Dean Archer ends up being the hero who saves the job. But we needed to get 7 points from these 5 games. We are currently sat here on 5 with 1 game left to play. So a draw is no longer good enough. We have to win. That Dean Archer goal really doesn't count for anything because we had to win today regardless. So we'll either finish on sacking and 6 points, or 8 points, we save the job, and then hopefully get in a position where we can just tell them to do one anyway and toot off over to Cardiff, almost certainly the day after the transfer window closes, because you know how these things happen by now. This save is out to get me. So this is the team that we're going to be playing for today's game, possibly the last game in charge of Blackpool. Only about 11 months since we took over. How many managers in the history of football have been at a club less than a year, secured a promotion, and been sacked? There's a little research task for you all. Let me know down in the comments. There surely can't be many who meet all 3 of those criteria. So in goal we've got Thompson, a back 4 of McJanet, Anderson, McDonald and Sana. Cato, Deli Bashiro and Ali are going to be our midfield, with Walter in behind, Brock Madsen and Mason. That's right, we're doing the 4-3-1-2. I don't even remember if this was the tactic we were using last time you were with me. If you're anything like me, you've not been paying much attention to the football matches for the last 6 weeks or so of this save, because it's all about trying to find a new job. I wonder why results have been bad. Yes, my players are up to it. Yes, they don't mind weather. Weather's fine. We have weather up in Blackpool as well. In fact, we're in Blackpool, so we're especially good with this weather. This is our weather. We're used to it. Where are Portsmouth in the league? Portsmouth are 11th. They're only 13 points ahead of us. If we win today, that's only a 10-point gap. We're not doing that badly. For a newly promoted team, yes, we had that really awful run where we lost like 7 games in a row. And I can see why the board felt the need to act. They'd just come into the club, fresh off 7 defeats in a row. We looked dead and buried. But I think, regardless of what happens today, we're showing signs of the escape being on. And I think, in real life, I wouldn't be sacked in this situation. We're unbeaten in 3 games, if you look at it that way. Who sacks a manager who's unbeaten in 3 games? That's nonsense. We're 1-0 down. We are getting sacked. None of this sacked in the morning nonsense. We're getting sacked before 5 o'clock. But, and I really wish to emphasise this point, this is not a bottle job, because a bottle job is when you're supposed to do well and then it all falls apart at the last minute. We were supposed to get relegated this season. The media predicted relegation. We had a team not good enough to get promoted who massively overperformed, and then we didn't have any money to spend on them. We're a mid-table League 2 team who are massively out of our depth, and it's not a bottle job. Leave me alone. There's not been a bottle job on Non-League to Legend this year. The closest we've got to a bottle job is probably leaving Hamilton when we did. I got scared and jumped ship because I didn't want to run out of money. That just about confirms it. We're not scoring 3 goals without reply in this second half. What was Thompson doing there? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, rewind 10 seconds. He started this move doing a forward roll. He's in goal. Imagine if he'd have started on his feet. Would he have saved it? Who knows? I'm starting to wonder if this run of poor form is because my hair's getting unmanageable. Perhaps a haircut will sort us out. Smart hair, smart thinking. We've got a goal back. Sana, that's breathtaking, apparently. Let's see this in 3D to see what was breathtaking about it. Somehow he injured his chest doing it as well. So I am intrigued as to... that's just a header. I know we don't score a lot of goals at the moment, but to call that breathtaking is possibly over-exaggerating. Right, where's the hero? Dean Archer, make yourself an even bigger hero than you already made yourself in that last game. And let's have another superstar of the last year. Lorenzo's coming on. He's going to play as an advanced playmaker. Ali's going to drop back. In fact, let's make him a central midfielder on defend. People have been calling at me to do this for ages. So now we've got Cato, the model box-to-box midfielder, and Lorenzo, the king of long shots. Surely we've got 2 goals in us now. And we've got Dean Archer, super sub, saviour of Blackpool. Right, there is the saviour of Blackpool, Dean Archer. Cato now picks it up to Walter, back to Cato, and that's just poor, and we need to get in and defend, and Anderson just about gets a boot in, and McDonald comes across to cover. We're just lumping it up at the big man. That's not how you get out of a relegation battle. Anderson intercepts well, but again, we're just lumping it forward. Cato now intercepts Walter. The saviour of Blackpool doesn't save Blackpool. I had to yell the saviour of Blackpool, because if he had have scored, that would have been one for the highlight reel then, with perfect commentary over it. But no, 'twas not to be. Shorthouse is coming on for Brock Madsen, because Brock Madsen is also not turned up, and without him on there, we're less likely to just lump the ball up to him. I know we need to score 2 goals, and we've just taken off our main goal scorer, but we're getting sacked anyway. We may as well mix things up a little bit. And Shorthouse has been known to score on occasion, and that's it. That's it, boys and girls. It's lasted 11 months, but Blackpool is done, and my worry now is this going to affect Cardiff's decision about whether or not to offer me an interview? 2 sackings in the last year. Well, the last year and a half. Been sacked from my last 2 clubs, basically. Yes, there's been a promotion in there, but we're starting to drift further and further away from the glory years of Southend and Hamilton. The promotion last year is only really papering over the cracks. And, I presume we've been sacked at this point, unless the board have had a massive change of heart. Well, it's showing me available jobs at the top of the screen. That might be a bit of a clue. Blackpool sack Chapman. Yeah, we'll change our stupid social feed. What are my immediate thoughts on your sacking by Blackpool? Well, my immediate thoughts are that the board are a bunch of... Well, that escalated quickly. I pressed continue once. Firstly, my Blackpool job application was unsuccessful. I just pressed apply for all. And Cardiff are now not even offering me an interview. I was favourite for that job this morning. I'm still favourite for the job, and they're not even interviewing me for it. There's no justice in the world. I've been offered an interview with Port Vale, but for goodness sake, they're in the conference. I cannot drop down to the conference. I'm just declining that. If we have to go through to the summer, and I don't... Reputation in FM17 is broken. It's just broken. There's no way. Yes, I know we've had some disappointing times at recent clubs. The last 2 have been a bit disappointing, but I've been at both of them for less than a year before getting sacked. Tour was an impossible task. We got promoted with Blackpool. I don't want to go where... What is Longford Town? I'm not going there. No. Oh, goodness me. Right. We'll be back when there's a job to apply for. This is 3 nights in a row now. It's getting silly. We're into mid-March. Still not been offered a job anywhere. I've had interviews with Crewe and Colchester, who are both in League Two, and turned me down. I've had an interview with Coventry in the Championship, who've turned me down. I've just had an interview with Preston, who are in League One, who haven't turned me down yet. And while you're here, it looks like we have an interview with Plymouth, who are in League One. We'll go along, we'll have a little interview. What have you got to say, Plymouth? Yeah, let's get down to business. Yes, we were going to get relegated anyway. I'm getting good at interviews now. So good that no one gives me jobs. Yeah, well, I've been in management for ages. I'm considering I'm not withdrawing. I'm not doing that nonsense again. I haven't found it hard to control finances. It was always the board. Because I'm a motivator. Yeah, I like director of football. No changes. Yes, we'll sign young players. No, we won't sign high-profile players. Have you got money problems? I don't like money problems. We're at the point now, we're so far into the season, that clubs aren't even bothering to set me expectations anymore. Afan I don't believe that's a real club. So, no thank you for your interview. And Dorchester, that's just insulting. So, fingers crossed. I quite like the look of the Preston job. There was money to spend at Preston, and we all know Kev likes to have money to spend. Finally. Oh, it's the 9th of March. I don't even know where Plymouth are in the league. Plymouth, oh, for goodness sake, they're 20th in the league. 20th in the league, barely outside of the relegation zone. I mean, this is danger territory, absolutely danger territory. We can't turn it down, obviously. We need the money. We're desperate for some work. I don't think they're going to judge me on what I do this season. They're just going to look for me to sign young players, which is what I do anyway. £925 a week is rubbish, but I think it's more than I started on at Blackpool. I mean, we could be cheeky and try and ask for a little bit more. And if they imagine if doing this means that they just withdraw, I might just give up on the save if that happens. There we go. They are pleased. I'm pleased. I'm the new manager of Plymouth Argyle. Oh, goodness me, has this been an ordeal? I have spent 4.5 hours sat in a freezing cold garage over the last 3 nights trying to sort this nonsense out. We're not going to have a look now. I can't bring myself to have a look now. Oh, well, let's have a little look now. Are they any good? Let's have a quick look at the squad depth. So we'll have a look at the team report, squad depth. Is there any names you reckon? I mean, it's not... Oh, dear. This is going to be... Oh, good. They've not got a proper goalkeeper. Used to that. That's fine. We'll be fine. We'll save them. How many games have we got left? Do we play Blackpool and Southend? We play Blackpool in a relegation extravaganza right at the end of the season. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo's Orient in there as well. This is going to be fun. We're going to save Plymouth, and then we're going to take them back to the Championship, which I don't know when the last time Plymouth were in the Championship was. I remember it happening in my lifetime. There you go. Not that long ago. Easy peasy. Right, I am going to go and get all this sorted out now. There won't be a non-League to Legend video on the channel tomorrow. Usual thing when we change clubs, especially when it's a change. I say it's a change that was unexpected. The change wasn't unexpected, but because I changed the thumbnails the way I do, I just want to give everyone a chance to get caught up before I just slap a Plymouth thumbnail on there. So the first episode at Plymouth, so the next episode of this series will be out on Sunday lunchtime-ish, and then we'll just get back into the normal 4 o'clock releases. There is going to be something a little bit different on the channel tomorrow, though. I've been toying with it for a little while, and now it seems like as good an opportunity as any. So while we're having a day off from non-League to Legend, keep an eye out, because in the non-League to Legend slot is going to be my first video playing Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. It's basically Football Manager, but with wrestling. So if you've got any interest in wrestling, and whether you've heard of that game or not before, I mean, it'll be worth having a little look. I don't know how it's going to work as a video. It might be the only one I ever do, or it might be the start of a beautiful relationship. But for now, I need to go back in the house. I'm wearing shorts. I'm absolutely freezing. It's going to snow tonight. Oh, that took a while. Plymouth, I can live with Plymouth. I thought we were going to end up in Wales or in the conference. And I don't mean good Wales, like Cardiff or Swansea. I thought we were going to the Welsh Premier League for a little while there. But we're sorted. We've got a League One club. We're going to save them. We're going to take them to the Championship next year. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.